Hello, welcome back to another installment of Test Drive the Tarot, the series in which I test drive a brand new tarot spread based on the Major Arcana, one of the 22 cards in the Major Arcana, and a deck that I've never read with before. So, a spread I've never used before, a deck I've never read with before. What could go wrong? Let's see. Today, my hair is a little bit drippy, and I just cut it. I'm not sure how I feel about this cut. I think I like it. Basically, I'm like warding off this impulse to buzz cut my hair again, to really go for a crew cut, which I think is not my best look. And yet, oh man, I'm so ready for it. Anyway, so here I am, drippy, and working with Amanda Spicer's Solara Occulto Meliora. Okay, this is a beautiful deck which I took out of its plastic wrap yesterday. I kickstarted it over a year ago. It's been sitting on my I'll show you an image of this. My overflowing kind of like waiting to be used stash decks, the decks that have been new to me in the last 6 months or so. So it's been sitting there since it arrived on Kickstarter, just waiting to be dived into. This is a chunky deck. Pulled it out of its plastic wrap yesterday, shuffled it. It's the kind of deck, it actually shuffles really well, but not in one chunk unless you have huge hands. But if you break it into two, it does a nice riffle. The cardstock is delicious. The gold on the backs is super pretty. Beautiful matte black edges. It's a gorgeous deck. Gorgeous deck. Haven't read with it, haven't flipped through it. About to test drive it today. So as I say, I've been shuffling. I've been trying to integrate the cards into randomness, and today we're going to dive into my latest spread. A spread based on the High Priestess, and a spread that is about opening up a question. Okay? So this is a spread designed to help us discern more deeply what the question is that we're working with, and to help us enter into the field of the question. So in general, Mindful Tarot is always about it's always about opening questions, not answering questions, finding a way to kind of lean into with curiosity and wonder to lean into our lives. But this High Priestess spread, which I'm calling the question spread, really is, when we're trying to figure out like what is going on, this is the spread for that, okay? And the spread is based, like all of these spreads I'm working on for Test Drive the Tarot, it's based on the imagery in the classic, either in a Marseille tarot or in the Waite-Smith tarot, typically in the Waite-Smith tarot, imagery, Pixies imagery. And with the High Priestess, the elements that I'm most interested in, right, are the pillars, what's behind the veil, like the waters, the Torah, the scroll in the High Priestess's hands, and the High Priestess herself. And then that crown that she's wearing, that triple goddess crown of the waning and waxing and full moon. Okay, so those are the elements of the spread. Here is a look at the spread. And let's dive right in. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out what my question is. I feel like there's something in my heart, something's wanting to be born in my life right now, something's changing, lots of things are changing, things are emerging, but what's the question? What is the question in my life right now? And I imagine myself using this High Priestess spread, this question spread. I imagine myself using it perhaps for myself as a prompt, but then also with querents, with clients, as a way to open up inquiry. So at the beginning maybe of a session with a consulting client, or as part of a larger reading. Okay, the High Priestess spread. So I'm going to pick the first two cards, and I'm not going to work with reversals because I just want to keep things simple. I'm going to pick the first two cards. So right? The cards that represent the pillar, which are kind of setting the context here. Like, what even is the sphere or zone of life that is at stake? You know, what are the pillars? What's creating the threshold? And here's the thing about the High Priestess. I feel like between those pillars, the pillars that represent, you know, sort of going into the biblical origins of this iconography, that represent the pillars of Jachin and Boaz at the entrance of the original Temple of Solomon. So, you know, how we go into wisdom. And these pillars have been understood since the Freemasons on, in sort of the occult and esoteric tradition of England, and particularly of England and the continent. Those pillars, Boaz and Jachin, that J is the Hebrew Yud, so it's Jachin, right? Jachin. Boaz and Jachin. Those pillars have been understood as like the sort of light and dark opposing elements. They get understood in terms of the Kabbalistic notion of the tree of life as the two sort of pillars of God's compassion and God's severity, mercy and severity, sort of gevura and chesed. I'm just going to see what comes forward. And I'm expecting that it's going to be something that gives a little bit of tension. Okay. So, Solara Occulto Meliora, Amanda Spicer's beautiful deck. Yeah, what is the area right now? What is at the threshold? So, first card is the Two of Wands. Oh, I've been getting that card a lot. Oh, look how beautiful that is. The Two of Wands. And then the second card, I have to look at these, the Queen of Cups. Okay. So the Two of Wands and the Queen of Cups. And actually in the spread, yeah, they're facing each other. I always have to think twice with with the iPad here. They're facing each other. Okay. Oh, just so beautiful. So, you know, being at the entrance, like the two of, I mean, here I am with the two pillars, and one of the cards is the Two of Wands. So it's like, yeah, you are at the threshold. And then this water of water. So, you know, the intuitive, flowing, relational heart. Okay, so that's what's at the pillars, is sort of at the threshold of whatever my question is this sense of being at the threshold, and how do I meet it with my full flowing heart, with all the qualities of the Queen of Cups, that watery. I mean, you know, with the High Priestess, we're in the land of water. We're in the land of intuition and soul and relationality and spirituality, that emotive, imaginal space of soul. And so it's like, yep, that's where you are. You're at the threshold, and this is about the movement of soul, of intuition. And I love how she's holding this. And this sense almost of a dance, and her leaning in, a kind of offering. By the way, on my camera, it looks like there's these streaks of light. That might be what's being filmed here. It's because it's a sunny day. We're getting something that feels like actually May weather. And so light streaming in. Okay, that's the pillars. And now, the scroll that the High Priestess holds, and then the sense of what's behind the veil, the waters themselves. So I think of this as like the mystery, like what is both unseen because it's not yet been revealed, and what is hidden to sight right now. So the things that I can't quite see, or that are soon to be revealed, or on their way to being revealed. So helping me understand that mystery that's also informing this moment of threshold. So the scroll, Rebus Oracle. What the heck is that? Okay, time to look at the guidebook. So I've shifted in my room a little bit to try to, I'm realizing that it's the shades that they have like patterns on them. So anyway, the light is what it is. It's lovely that there's light. But anyway, Rebus Oracle. So one of the things with this guidebook is the print is freaking teeny tiny, but this is the Divine Hermaphrodite. Okay, so this is the scroll. So this is the kind of, knowledge that is hidden, but what is to be revealed. And it says in the guidebook, after we have experienced separation, we are free to ascend and become whole once again. We can reconcile the opposing male-female forces within us on a spiritual level and become complete. We unite our opposite qualities rather than war against ourselves. And then it goes on to talk about the square and the triangle and the different symbols. Okay, so, this image of wholeness, and a sense of, the threshold here. I've been thinking that I'm dealing with what it is to be female. I've been dealing with that movement toward kind of integration of Jungian individuation, where we come into wholeness, where all the parts of ourselves. So that's at play here. Let me pull the other card. And again, I'm not going to read reversals. So this is the Queen of Wands, which I've been getting a lot of too. Yeah, so, okay, so this movement, yeah, that's so interesting. So what is to be revealed, what is sort of hidden in this moment of question, or in the question itself, is a movement toward wholeness, and how that relates to this fire of water. I've got two queens here. This is so much developmentally my moment in terms of my own sexuality. So I've been feeling like this is, this makes a lot of sense for me. There's something, I've been thinking that one of the things that's really at stake for me right now is questions about what it is to be a woman, what it is to be a woman in her 50s, what it is, like what this next moment of emerging into my fullness, but also sort of whatever crone is. I hate that archetype because we live in a world of misogyny. So the aging female is, a figure can be hard for us to love. So who is this fiery Queen of Wands, and how does she relate to wholeness? That's what is kind of at play in the hidden elements of this moment. That is what is the mystery of this moment. So it's very much about gender and sexuality and sexual energy and sexual identity at the deep level, the archetype level. Anima and animus, the Jungians would say. The unifying of the self. And what of that fire of yoni, of the dark feminine. Yeah, the Queen of Wands, man. Okay, so now, this is the card that is in the central position of the priestess. So, here we are. So this is helping me find the question, okay? Or helping, and I had I had a jumper. This is my jumper, the Emperor. All right. Yeah. My soul card, my hub card for this year. Yeah. So what is my power? Yeah. What is my power? I think that's the question. But there's one more card. Oh my God. These cards are, by the way, I'm just looking at them. They are freaking beautiful. I'll drop a picture of the full spread in a moment. It's just, they're gorgeous. Just freaking gorgeous. Okay, so what is my power? Now, one more card, which is the Triple Crown. So this is, the full span of waning, waxing, and full moon, the Triple Goddess. Yeah, that kind of archetype of the divine feminine, really. So, I'm asking questions about the feminine, and yeah, what is that? What's in the position of the crown? The Magician. No. Wishful thinking. The King of Pentacles. Air of earth. Yeah. Embodiment. How can I embody my power? What is it to fully, completely embody my power? That's the question. Oh, okay, people. Test drive the tarot. Boom. Crimson Solara, no, sorry, Solara Occulta Meliora Tarot. Beautiful deck of Amanda Spicer's. Okay. Thanks for watching. Thank you for your practice. If you haven't considered my Mindful Tarot Certificate program, the window, the door, the threshold has not closed yet. One more in-person on Zoom info session, Sunday, May 12th at 4 p.m. Pacific. Info below. If you missed that info session, if you're seeing this video after that info session, check out the program on my website and be in touch if you have any questions. There's still openings for next year's cohort, but the door is closing. Okay, my lovelies. Thank you so much for your practice. Toodles.